When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Well, what's going on? Mike Prater, happy Thursday. 24 hours from right now, Mike Prater will be piping one 300 yards down the center of the fairway at Timberstone Golf Course. Really looking forward to tomorrow. We're going to cram two days worth of shows into today so we can take tomorrow morning off as we're out at the golf tournament. You guys are going to be out there broadcasting live for your show tomorrow as well, and going to have some guests and stuff, and going to have a live studio audience too, Mike. I know a lot of people that are planning on having an extra cold one and sticking around on the patio to watch the show. So should be fun tomorrow. Looking forward to it.
Nothing like pretending to be at work when you're at the golf course, BJ. This is right up my alley. This is where I can excel. I'm the best at this, so I'm looking forward to it. Kudos to you for putting together this tournament. You're kind of a one-man wrecking crew. I've put together these tournaments before, and I had like 17 people helping me, so I know how difficult it is to put one of these things together. Kudos to you, Bronco Nation News, first inaugural Bronco Nation News tournament. I'm proud of you for putting this sucker together, and I can't wait to get out there tomorrow and put in a tough day at work.
Let's save the kudos till we actually about 3:00 tomorrow when we see how it went. Yeah, cautiously, cautiously optimistic. We do have the new shirts here. Everyone's going to get everyone that comes tomorrow gets a Bronco Nation News shirt. Thank you to ICCU. I think their logo is on the back. There you go. So appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union. You get golf towels, balls, shirts, all kinds of great stuff. Plenty of food and drinks. We got people, Mike, that were sold out of the tournament, and people are just wanting to come have lunch and buy raffle tickets. So we're selling like an extra ticket. So we're going to have a fun time tomorrow, and looks like the weather is going to be perfect, 80 and partly cloudy, and excited. So yeah, should be a lot of fun tomorrow. And we still need to figure out some sort of side bet for you and JP and Johnny and Jay's foursomes and see if we can figure something out. I mean, but I do think are you the best of the three, or is JP better than you?
JP is better than me. JP doesn't play golf, and he's still better than me. It bugs me. Thanks for bringing it up. But yeah, JP is the better golfer. He is the golfer of the group.
Okay, well, I may need to switch you guys in the groups then. I was giving you too much credit, I guess. But no, it'll be a fun time. Really looking forward to it. We got a lot of fun stuff planned. We got a lot of great sponsors. We appreciate Atkinson's Mirror and Glass, Tin Roof Tacos, Hole 13, Mike. Don't miss that one. They're passing out free tacos, free chips and queso from Tin Roof Tacos on Hole 13. Hole 6, you get a hole-in-one. You win a free car from Lithia, Florida, Boise. We got a lot of other great companies. Shop Strange is going to be out there with drinks and stuff on their hole. All kinds of great stuff. Boise Dentistry Co. is going to have JL Skinner out there taking pictures, meeting fans. And I know we joked a couple of weeks ago about getting a golf club in JL Skinner's hand, and I believe that was broached with JL. And the short response was that he is not a golfer. But maybe for the right donation to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission, we can get him to, try to hit a couple over the water there, and maybe use some range balls or something in case he can't get it over the water on hole 8. But that we could have some fun with that. I think Riley Smith's going to be out there with Tin Roof Tacos, and we got some coaches, both golf coaches, men's and women's are going to be out there. Assistant basketball coaches. We got Coach Schultz, the softball coach, who was happy to hear that he's playing right behind Jay Tusk's group because he said he'll be planning to try to hit into him all day. Nice. Yeah, it's going to be fun. We got a lot of company teams that have side bets going on and all kinds of stuff. So it's going to be a great day tomorrow, raising a lot of money for the Idaho Youth Sports Commission and having a good time. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, if you're interested in just coming out for lunch and to watch Johnny and Prater's broadcast and hear the Q&A and things we're doing, buy some raffle tickets, send me an email, rains@bronconationnews.com, and we got a couple limited things. Now, I need your opinion, though, real quick before we move on, because me and Jay were talking about this, and Jay Tusk thinks there's a legitimate chance, Mike, that John Mallory might completely whiff on a shot.
I'm taking that betting chance right now. Johnny Ballgame is very nervous. I have not seen Johnny Ballgame this kind of nervous before. He's worried about borrowing people's clubs. He's borrowing people's golf balls. He's complaining about a pulled tooth. He's got all kinds of things going on. So Johnny Ballgame hasn't played golf in about 8 years, and I'm going to guess Johnny Ballgame shows up with about 8 Red Bulls and 5 energy shots in his golf bag. That's not good for golf. And he's going to throw a lot of energy out there, and some of that energy is definitely going to be a whiff, at least one whiff.
The only saving grace, or maybe this is a negative, is that you guys both have to do your show after this, so he can't be partaking in the drinks on the course. That might make Johnny a little more fun to play with by the time you get to the back nine. But
there you go.
Luckily, I think that probably saves both of you guys. That you are working there and doing your show afterwards. I'm going to join you guys. We're going to get Mike Burns, I believe, assistant coach, is going to stop by the table at the tournament before he heads home. We're going to have Matt Bauscher, I believe, so some special guests out there. It's going to be a lot of fun, and again, just trying to raise some money for a good cause, raise a little money so I can pay you guys to keep doing this with me, and it's just going to be a fun day and looking forward to it. So I do want to say thank you to KTIK and JP and you and Johnny. I know it's a big hassle to take the show on the road and not the easiest thing to have to play and then hurry and do a show, and I know it's been a logistical issue for you guys, so I do really want to say publicly thank you to KTIK. We're happy to have you guys out there and help and support us, and I do hope that a lot of folks at the tournament will hang around and listen to you guys, and I know people are excited to meet you. And I told somebody at the course yesterday when I was out there, Johnny and Prater are doing their show. No way, that's awesome. Oh, hope I can meet them. So at least one person's going to want to meet you. I can't vouch for anybody else, but it should be a fun time, and I do appreciate you guys for wanting to be involved.
Well, we're very happy to be involved, and we're looking forward to it. Thanks for inviting us, and we love Tad. We love Kelly. We love the crew out there at Timberstone Golf Course. I know those guys personally. They're great people. I think you've built a wonderful relationship with them as well. So it's going to be a beautiful day for one day in the KTIK Bronco Nation News family. Everybody's going to love everybody. Everybody's going to get along, and we're all going to have some fun before we dive into the summer and get back to business later on this fall.
No doubt. I think Tad was a former Boise State golfer, I believe, right? So Tad golfed at Boise State. I think he might have been like All Big Sky or something back in the day. And I know Kelly's he's the head pro out there, and he'll be running the tournament tomorrow. And Kelly, as you said, is a BSU basketball season ticket holder, I believe, and a big fan as well. So appreciate them. Appreciate everybody. Again, email me, rains@bronconationnews.com if you're still interested in coming to buy some raffle tickets. And we got some cool raffle prizes, Mike, a couple golf bags, a couple coolers, and Kellen Moore, thanks to the Blue and Orange store. Kellen Moore, Blue and Orange store donated a couple mini helmets, and I shipped them down to Kellen Moore, and he signed them and shipped them back. So we got some Kellen Moore signed stuff, and a lot of rounds of golf around the valley, and some gift cards for Crave Delivery and Tin Roof Tacos and Blue and Orange store. So a lot of great stuff. All of our sponsors are awesome, and I really appreciate Atkinson's Mirror and Glass, Shop Strange, Tin Roof Tacos, rowpaint.com, and ICCU is the main sponsors of the tournament. So we'll see everybody tomorrow. It's going to be a great time. I can't wait. But in the meantime, we are going to talk about not one, but 2 players today, Mike, as we kind of, fill in today and tomorrow at once. And we're counting down. We're into the top 10. We're at number 8 right now. And first up is number 8 is the center. And we're going to go with Hololomia Gonzalez at center. And I think that KHG is a very important piece to this offensive line. You think about, Kekani Akoa and him being out all of last season and the dominoes that created, Mike. 3 different players had to play at least 4 games starting at center, a different combination in the starting offensive line in 4 of the first 5 games. They really struggled to run the ball. You had Will Farah, Dante Harrington, Jake Stetz all trying to take time in there. You remember Dante Harrington had some bad snaps early in the season that Utah State game. There were a couple of really bad ones one that was almost a safety, if not for Bachmeier helping him out there. So, KHG started 6 games the year before. He missed 1 game, I think, due to COVID protocols, but basically was the starting center in 2020, comes back as the projected starting center in 2021. And I really do believe, and that's why I've got him at number 8 on this list, that his absence started the dominoes that really caused the offensive line to struggle last year. So it was kind of a mysterious injury. We don't exactly know why he was out, whether it was a medical condition or an injury. He didn't want to talk about it in the spring, but he is 100% cleared and as of now back and ready to go. And I think that's a huge deal for this offensive line.
Just getting a body in there consistently is a big deal. And I can't wait to see how KHG turns out to be a football player. We saw that a couple years ago, as you pointed out. But in terms of the position, Boise State for many, 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 many years has been very lucky at the position of center in terms of stability. The same guy from the season opener to the end of the season. It's been that way for a long time around here. And for knock on wood, it was a good deal. And we saw production out of the offensive line when they could keep the center and keep that position stable. Well, it hasn't been so much in the last couple of years. We know the angst and the ups and downs of the position. We know the angst and ups and downs of the offensive line. I think a big part of that is because of the instability at the center position. So I can't wait to see. I don't care if it's you, me, Mickey Mouse, or KHG. Just give me a body for 12 straight games, something I can build around when it comes to that center positions. I'm really looking forward to what KHG can do, because when he was healthy and when he was here, he was a difference maker. It's been a long time, and I can't wait to see if he's still a difference maker.
Chad chiming in, Gonzalez will be a huge key to success for this team. Totally agree with him being this high on the list. And don't forget, going back to his high school career, Mike, he played the number 1 ranked high school team in the country. And talking to Brandon Huffman from Scout.com, his starting 5 on the offensive line that year, they had guys that went to like Alabama, Notre Dame, like all these huge guys, and he kind of got overlooked because he was a little on the shorter side. And I'll never forget Brandon Huffman telling me if Keikani was 2 inches taller, which sounds crazy, but if he was 2 inches taller, if he was 6'4" instead of 6'2", he would have had his pick of any school in the country.
Wow.
I mean, it was he was just a little undersized, and that's kind of what Boise State gets sometimes, is the little undersized, chip on the shoulder type guys, and he kind of fell behind the shadows of the guys going to Alabama and Notre Dame and everywhere else. But they had very high hopes for him when he came in, and again, started all 6 games that he played in 2020 and comes back and was supposed to make things, better in 2021. So you get him locked in. And I guess we'll just say it, John Ojukwu is still to come in this list. I still think he's a very important piece, too, at left tackle. We'll get to him, I believe, Monday. I think he's number 6. We'll just say that. And I think John Ojukwu, the most career starts on the team, we'll get to him, but he's a very key piece at left tackle. But when you get him in there and then you get Keikani in at center, you can, you can kind of mix and match with Curran and Dooley and some of these guys. And then you have Beresford, who we talked about, at right tackle potentially. And I don't think it's a coincidence that for a team that really struggled last year along the line, Mike, we have 3 offensive linemen in our top 20 in terms of the most important players on this team. That was clearly a spot that needed to improve.
I got a question for you, and this may just kind of sum up exactly what we think about the center position. I'm embarrassed. I don't know the answer to this, and it's an honest question to you. If KHG isn't available, who's the backup center? Do we even know that at this point in the year?
That's a good question, and you should have given me time to look at the roster.
I just thought about it. I don't know if it's in the past.
Well,
people around. That's last year.
It might be Will Farah, right? Because he did have a couple starts at center last year. I believe Will Farah started 4 games last year at center as kind of a stopgap before they went to Jake Stetz. So I guess you could slide him over. I'd have to look and see. I think there's a young guy that could be in contention to go. But that is certainly, Jake Stetz took over midway through the season last year and did a tremendous job. As I'm looking on the fly here, I think you could have – that's a good question because you've got Dooley back, Curran back. It's not Holiday.
The point here is
don't get hurt, KHG.
Exactly. The point here is maybe, you've asked me a couple of different times how I feel about 1 through 25 in the positions, and maybe that's why he's so high, or maybe we should have put him higher, because if he goes down, I think maybe this entire offensive line starts to struggle. And when the offensive line, as you know, starts to struggle, I'm speaking the obvious here, it's going to be problems for that offense. So KHG, all of a sudden, in my mind, goes way up the list in terms of important players. He cannot get hurt. And there's a couple of players on this offense that cannot get hurt. I think Kink Bachmeier is one of those. We'll see how that shakes out. But certainly at the center position, the heartbeat of this football team, the heartbeat of this offense, KHG, I need you. I need you for 12, 13, 14 games. I don't even know who the hell your backup is right now.
Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes, Mike, a guy's importance to the team is actually more noticed when they're not playing than when they are. And you always hear that sometimes, like in the MVP discussion and all that. Well, look what they did when he wasn't playing or was playing. And maybe you think, okay, center, how hard can it be? You're just filling in the spot there and you don't really think about it. And he started every game the year before and was supposed to come back. And I really do think the O-line struggles started with KHG going down and not being available. And it literally was every game, a new combination, new guys trying to fit in, bad snaps. And it just didn't work for the first half of last season. Now, once Stets solidified things, they got the same 5 that started like the last 5 or 6 games. It did get better from at the end of the season. They ran the ball better. Helani was healthy at the end of the year. That probably all played a part. But I think KHG is a big spot. But we have a suggestion here. Jay is wanting to know if you have any eligibility left.
If they need me at center, I can stand there and get in the way. But the second somebody touches me, I'm probably falling over. And I need a break because I'm out of gas. So, no, that's not going to happen. Let's not go there.
We'll probably, we're going to, after we get done with this series, Mike, we're going to transition into another series looking at like the key storylines and key questions where it's more position and than just players. But I'm sure one of the questions will be about the offensive line in general. Is there some heat on Tim Keene going into this year?
Ooh, we don't hear that. Nobody talks about that. I imagine most Boise State football fans don't even know who the offensive line coach is. So, pressure on Tim Keene, probably a little bit. The pressure is going to direct, as you know, to Plow. Tim Plow is going to be the guy that's going to get all the pressure. If the center goes down, if the center gets hurt, if there's no quality backup center, and this offensive line goes to hell, it's going to be Tim Plow. It's not going to be Tim Keene. It's not going to be Andy Avalos. So I think Plow's the guy that's going to get the brunt of all this kind of stuff. So of him, of all people, Plow needs to be knocking on wood to make sure KHG stays healthy because that's not a good sign right now.
Chad says center's the heart of the O-line. People can talk about the tackles going first round, how athletic they are, but without a center, nothing flows. So agree with that, Chad, and that's why we've got KHG coming in at number 8 on our list. The full story on him and kind of why I think he's important will be going up shortly at BroncoNationNews.com. Want to tell you quickly about United Commercial Insurance. Check them out, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. They can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. They will be providing the prize that Mike Prater will be winning for the longest drive on tomorrow. Hole 18 is our longest drive, sponsored by United Commercial Insurance, and we appreciate them. And so they're big supporters of ours. We appreciate them. Check them out. UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. You may think you have good business insurance, but one quick call might give you a better rate than you think. Another great sponsor that'll be out there tomorrow, Boise Dentistry Co. They've got the closest to the pin contest, hole 8 tomorrow. And again, JL Skinner will be out there on their behalf. They've got a backdrop set up, Mike, where you can get a picture with JL, and he'll be passing out stuff. And maybe we can get him for the right donation to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission, maybe we can get him to take a whack at hole 8. But BoiseDentistryCo.com, check them out. Full family dentistry. And they got locations across the Treasure Valley, so we appreciate their support. The BlueandOrangeStore.com as well. As I said, they're providing the prizes, some other great stuff. We really appreciate Travis Hawks and the crew out at the Blue and Orange Store. So check them out if you're in Boise at the Boise Town Square Mall. I'm actually headed there today to pick up the gift cards for first, second, and third place. But if you're not in the Treasure Valley, you can go to the BlueandOrangeStore.com and you can get the all the stuff mailed to you, shipped to you there around the world. So appreciate Blue and Orange Store as well, and all of our great sponsors. Let's move on, Mike. So we had number 8, and then tomorrow we're actually 2 behind because Cade Rice joined us yesterday, and we had no show Monday. So we're actually kind of playing catch up here. So I think Monday we'll have to do 2 probably to get back on track. But we're going to number 7, which is a very intriguing one for me, and it's linebacker Zeke Noah. And you look at what he's done, Mike, guy it's been, I found a picture of him, Mike, in a practice back in 2017 where he's talking to Leighton Vander Esch. The guy's been here that long, going back to 2017 when he redshirted, I believe, 6th-year player, and crazy to believe. And he's dealt with some injuries, but he's pushed through. And I think for the most part, people would say he's been a productive, positive player for them. I was actually surprised because I didn't think he had a great year last year. And I looked at the stats, and they were actually pretty good. 3rd on the team in tackles, had 6.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, couple fumble recovery or forced fumbles, a fumble recovery. Overall, 3rd on the team in tackles. Overall, I didn't think, the stats say he was one of their more productive players on defense last year. I think he needs to step it up next year, as you're going to hear from Spencer Danielson in a minute. He thinks he needs to step it up this year. But with Riley Wimpy moving on and a lot of inexperienced young guys lining up next to Zeke Noah this year, I think Zeke Noah is a huge piece because, again, kind of like KHG, if Zeke Noah were to go down, DJ Schramm and, all of a sudden you go from Riley Wimpy and Zeke Noah to potentially, Brandon Hawkins and DJ Schramm in the middle of your defense. So I think a healthy, productive Zeke Noah is very important to this team.
BJ, I got a lot of mixed feelings when it comes to Zeke Noah. I really do. I think this guy checks 8 of the 10 boxes that you want in a football player. I guarantee you he's a character guy in the locker room. I love poly guys, and I love the intangibles. They just wake up and breathe cool and breathe football, and they get after it. The discipline and the dedication and the devotion that they bring not only to life but to football is absolutely spectacular. But let me just say this about Zeke Noah, and I don't feel comfortable saying this, but this is a dude, as you said, it's been in the program since 2017. He started at weak side linebacker for Riley Wimpy in 2018 for 3 games, and then he got hurt in that 2019 season. Zeke Noah is your returning starting middle linebacker, and he has started 18 consecutive games. Where in the history of college football, when you have a starting middle linebacker, one of the glorious positions on defense, and he started 18 consecutive games or parts of 4 consecutive seasons? But I just don't see any buzz for this guy. You talked about his production last year. It was good. It wasn't great, and that's as best as it's ever been last year. The good stuff. I like to see more tackles. I need to see more plays. I don't think he's ever had an interception. I know he had that one play last year where I recovered the fumble and rolled down the sidelines. And
there he is right there.
Doing it. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Reggie Bush, and he went to the same high school as Reggie Bush. I don't know if that gives you, a push in life or gives you any kind of extra hype when it comes to playing football. But Zeke Noah, 100% agreed. Dude, you're a great guy. You're going to go off and conquer the world. I want you on my football team for 10 consecutive years, but I need you to be a better middle linebacker. And I worry that he can't be. I think maybe he's reached his ceiling. He's not a great athlete. He's going to give you everything he possibly can. He's going to come off the field sweating and just drained out of his mind. But in terms of the athleticism, the playmaking ability, the things that I need him to do in the middle of that defense, I still need to see it, and I'm not sure I'm ever going to see it, BJ.
Yeah, but I agree with you. And but as I kind of wrote in the story that's up, is like, he needs the best year of his career to be in 2022.
Yes.
And that's, I don't want to say a lot to ask, because like I said, he had a good year last year, but he needs to step it up more. And it's not just for his position. As I said, he's also in a way making up for, some of the loss of Riley Wimpy at the spot next to him. And so I think that it's a very important role in this team. You want to talk about all the D-line guys coming back, having Skinner and Jones coming back, but that linebacker position and making those tackles, at the second level can make or break, drives at times or games. And so I think Zeke Noah, as you said, great guy to interview. He's funny. He says some good stuff. Always love talking to him. Feel like we, know him so well because we've been talking to him for 6 years. He's a tough guy. I mean, there was a game against Air Force a couple years ago, Mike, where he tore his ACL, stayed in the game for 2 more quarters, kept playing with a torn ACL, and it was only when a broken wrist finally they were like, okay, like literally you got to get off the field now. You just, and it turns out that he had broke his wrist and had a torn ACL. He had 10 tackles in the game. I think he made like 5 or 6 tackles with a torn ACL before finally the broken wrist. And then they realized, what was going on. So he's a tough guy. He's trying to stay out there. And I think it is a huge, he's a huge key. Like I said, not only just, you want him to improve his stats, but you'd rather take what he did last year than have to go to the second and third stringers potentially in terms of unknown guys. And nothing against DJ Schramm or whoever's behind him, but in most cases you'll take a 6th-year returning starter over a guy that has no career starts or one start.
Absolutely, especially if you started 18 consecutive games. That's just that resume. That blind resume screams All-American when it comes to college football. And I just need him to be all conference at this point. And if he could get to that point, I think this defense is going to be solid. He doesn't have to have the pressure of going out there and being the man, the leader, the Leighton Vander Esch. He's got people in front of him. He's got people to the right of him. He's got people to the left of him. He's got people behind him. This defense is going to be really, really good. If Zeke Noah can come out and be a productive 18-time starting middle linebacker and match that kind of a resume, this defense will be elite.
I gotta call out Perry. He was trying to rip us for no audio, and then he says there was no audio, and it turns out that he was muting himself. So it's on him. So Perry, that's on you, and everyone else says that Nathaniel saying happens to the best of us. So appreciate Perry's a daily viewer, doesn't miss a show and comments. We appreciate you, Perry. Prater, here's a 45-second bite. It's me asking the question in right before spring ball started, and then it's Spencer Danielson answering, and then I want to get your reaction right after.
And he's a guy that obviously has been around the block and overcome some injuries and done a lot for you. It seemed like last year at times maybe he was either a step slow or just not quite himself. Probably was still dealing with something, but I mean, just how much do you need Zeke Noah to be peak Zeke Noah this year for this defense?
Oh, absolutely. And he knows that, and there's things that he needs to grow in, and he's excited to, and he has. And there's a lot of things that I'm going to do a better job of with him to make sure he does. And not even just talking football, how he leads his group, because he is the guy that our team looks to. When Zeke Noah talks, people are going to look and see what is Zeke saying. And how he preps and how he handles those things. So I'm excited where he is going if he continues to keep this up in regards to how he competes, how he trains, and how he handles everything, because he needs to. Played a lot of football for us and a lot of good things, but he needs to take his game to the next level, just like everybody else on our defense does.
Well, there you go, Mike. Spencer Danielson saying he's played a lot of good football here and played for a while, but he needs to take his game to the next level. Kind of blunt and honest, but it's true.
Yeah, and that's what these coaches do. They don't say anything to us that they haven't said to their players in private. So if he's told us that once, I guarantee you he's told that to Zeke Noah several times. I don't think Zeke Noah has to take this massive, massive step. I mean, maybe if you're looking at production, even though a little bit of a different positions, if Zeke Noah can do what Riley Wimpy did last year, a lot more solo tackles, maybe increase the overall tackle production by 10, 15, 20 tackles, I know if he can match that sack production last year with 3, if he can get that up to 5, maybe make a couple plays, give me a pick, get me a fumble recovery, and do some things. That's what I want out of my middle linebacker, a playmaker. And I've seen enough that he can be a playmaker. I just need to see that production take the next step. Exactly what Spencer Danielson just said. And
you weren't here the other day when we talked about Brandon Hawkins. We've got him, I believe, at number 10, kind of just trying to replace Wimpy. But when you think of the Hawkins-Noah combo at linebacker, what do you think of that?
Doesn't scream intimidation to me. It really doesn't. In college football at Boise State, middle linebacker, very important position. It doesn't scream intimidation. It doesn't scream confidence to me. If those guys can just go off and be solid, be steady, be dependable, be available, play every single game, because I'm not sure who the heck is going to play behind Brandon Hawkins. We know that DJ Schramm could probably move around.
Kurt Blake's going for the true freshman Deshaun Misa. You're saying don't forget about him, 4-star guy.
Yeah, if there's a true freshman playing middle linebacker in the first half of this season, or even at any point in this season, something desperately went wrong. Or maybe he just emerged as a great player. We'll see if that happens. It rarely kind of works out that way. I just need these two guys to be dependable and available and productive. And I can't wait to see how it plays out. But the good news is it just doesn't, as we said, this defense is so loaded, it's going to be good no matter what. But the difference might be elite.
Well, appreciate it for all the comments and questions that we got, and looking forward to tomorrow, Mike. So appreciate your time. Appreciate JP's time. You guys, I want to give a mention here in the final minute, are giving away season tickets every day on the show to Boise State football 3 times a day, right? You're giving away a chance. Tell folks that might be interested in football season tickets how they can get involved.
Touchdowns for tickets. It's our favorite annual promotion around here, courtesy of Boise State and a partnership with those guys. We love those guys, and thank you very much for helping you set that up. But yeah, every single day through June 17th, we're qualifying 3 listeners, 1 every hour for 14 consecutive shows. And then every Friday, including tomorrow, we're going to pick our very first winner tomorrow while we're at the Bronco Nation News Golf Tournament out there at Timberstone. We'll pick our first winner, and we'll pick out a winner every single Friday. Or we're going to qualify 3 more today. We'll qualify 3 more tomorrow. We'll have a winner tomorrow. Touchdowns for tickets. It's a pretty fun deal.
I was listening yesterday driving on the one where it was a punt and there was a blocked punt. And I mean, it's like, I was thinking, yes, you wouldn't have played that. Once the punt's blocked, of course you scored. But that's kind of a fun game. You guys play half of Bob's call, and then the person has to try to remember the play or guess whether or not the play resulted in a touchdown. That's been pretty fun. So yeah, folks, make sure you listen live 3 to 6 all through next week, and then try to win. I guess it'll be next 2 weeks, I guess, is the 17th. So that's going to be going on for a while, and hope folks will take advantage of that. 3 to 6, 95.3 FM, 1350 AM, the KTIK app, KTIK.com. And once an hour, you can win your chance to have a chance at Boise State football season tickets. So cool deal, Mike, and good luck with that. And we'll see you tomorrow, man. Appreciate your time. And again, I know it's a long day for you guys tomorrow, but it's going to be fun, and we're looking forward to it, and hope I just hope your team uses at least one of your shots, 1 putt, 1 chip. I mean, that should be, Johnny said his goal was 2. I don't know if we'll get to that, but hopefully that should be your goal. Just provide something, right?
I'm going to want to provide. My ego tells me I want to provide at least 1 shot per hole. I mean, Johnny might be going for 1 shot for the whole tournament. I want to provide 1 shot for the hole. I'm going to get out there. I'm a little too competitive on the golf course, so I'm going to have to get a little bit serious here. And don't forget, BJ, you told me I couldn't be drinking shots of Fireball tomorrow because I have to work. You've got to work tomorrow as well. 4 o'clock, Bronco Nation News Report right there on Idaho Sports Talk. Maybe we'll get you involved with the touchdowns for tickets promotion at 4 o'clock. Just because we're out there at the golf tournament, you're still going to be doing your live segment. We'll be out there doing it together. Haven't done it together in a long, long time. So looking forward to the BJ New Bronco Nation News hit tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And
I'm looking forward to a recap of how you guys all felt you played and how it went. And I'll be once we get set up and everything, I'll be driving around on the cart and maybe get some video or some photos, and with your guys' approval on a good shot, of course, be able to let folks see what's going on. We've had a lot of folks wanting us to live stream this. We can't make that happen, but we will try to get some small clips. And the range opens at 7:30. Mike, I know you're not a morning person, but if you need the practice, you can get out there and we'll have coffee and donuts for you, and you can get your get out there on the range. I spend all my time on the range when I should be over on the putting green. So maybe just get a couple putts in and you're going to be good to go. So
BJ, you had me at donuts, so I'll be there early.
Appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow, Mike. There he is, Mike Prater. Always appreciate him, and JP and Johnny, and loving our partnership here, and couldn't do it without him. So really appreciate them, and appreciate it, Mike. We'll see you out there tomorrow, 3 to 6 today. We'll be listening to try to win those tickets. Have a great day, folks. You can read all the articles of our countdown at BroncoNationNews.com. And again, if you're interested in the golf tournament coming out for lunch, email me, Rains@BroncoNationNews.com. And we will talk to you tomorrow on social media at some point from Timberstone. And 3 o'clock, they'll be broadcasting their show live. Have a great Thursday, folks. Bronco Nation News, Bronco Nation.